Evening here in West Yorkshire. Blaymire is the full-back for Wakefield. Then they go Gleeson, Martin, Atkins and Blanche. Drew is at standoff and Brough is the scrum half. The forwards Moore, Obst and Wilkes, Golden, McGilvray and Demetria, who is the captain. And on the bench, Rooney, Sculthorpe, Henderson and Bibb, and the coach is John Keir. This now is the Catalan Dragons lineup. Clint Greenshield's their full-back. Then it's Murphy, Wilson, Ragan and Katabi, Mogg and Bosk. Forwards Chan, Maguire, the captain, Elima, Fakir, Muniz and Carlaw. And the bench, Ferriol, Duport, Casti and Tuxagas. The coach is Mick Potter. Well, Wakefield, this city is absolutely buzzing with rugby league at the moment because Wakefield making a massive bid to make the playoffs at the end of the season, and they have the small matter of a Challenge Cup semi-final against Hull and the temptation of Wembley at the end of all of that. And so rugby league, the interest in this part of the world has rarely been higher. But the Catalan Dragons can re-establish a 6-point lead over fourth-placed Wigan with a win here, which would be their first win at Bellevue in 4 visits. 9 of the Catalan players represented France against England on Friday night. 8 of them actually back up here this evening. And they are hoping for a club record 5th consecutive Super League victory tonight. They did go 5 in a row in April and May, but that included a cup tie win at Featherstone. They are out now to break new ground in the Super League. Their last defeat was at St Helens, 28 points to 10 on the 17th of May. They have certainly been, in 2008, the big story, the big improvers in Super League this year. But Wakefield, just to reiterate again, any sort of defeat will cost them their place in the 6th. They have a points difference of minus 32, Warrington minus 33. So a Catalan victory will see Warrington jump ahead of them. Both Warrington and Wakefield have won 10 matches so far. And they're in great form as well. They've won the last 4 in the league and cup. They haven't lost since Wigan won here on the 25th of May by 38 points to 30. And as they emerge from their dressing room, Wakefield will know that home advantage has been significant in all the previous Wakefield Catalan meetings in Super League since 2006. Wakefield have lost all 3 in Perpignan, including 28-20 on Easter Monday. Catalan have lost all 3 here at Bellevue. But with Wakefield, Steve, on a roll this year, anything could happen, I suppose. Just pick up on that point in a moment, because I must tell you that the mascots tonight, Thomas and Matthew Sowerby, they're wearing Wakefield replica kit based on the 1979 Challenge Cup final kit worn by the late great David Topless and the Wakefield team. The shirts are on sale now. The proceeds will go to the Rugby League Benevolent Fund. And by the way, there is also a Hull FC shirt to mark Topo's 1982 Cup final appearance with them. So a nice touch by Wakefield and by Hull in memory of David Topless. And Steve-O, a night that the Wakefield Trinity Wildcats, again, just as they did at Hull Kingston Rovers a week last Saturday, could do his memory proud.
Certainly could, and I'm sure that John Keir will have made that quite clear to them. Interesting to see that Brad Drew starts the game at standoff. I think that is tried to just eliminate the skill factor of Adam Mogg, who's also the standoff for the Catalan side. But Wakefield can't just go into this game expecting this Catalan side, because so many of the French side played on Friday. They've only had 3 clear days to prepare for this game, and that's not the best start for them.
Well, that's the hallmark of Wakefield's season. They put their opponents under pressure with dangerous and awkward kicks. Here's one to start the match. You see Ragan knock on with his left hand, and Wakefield will get possession.
They have here with Brough, and he pops the ball up to Tony Martin. Martin, though, is tackled heavily to the floor. Will get up and play it to Brough again. This Ryan Atkins now. Muniz was in there very quickly. So too was John Wilson. Brough once again, and gets the ball away to Golden.
Pretty good tackle there by Oliver Elima. Interesting to see there Wakefield, when they had the scrum down, it was Brad Drew that was feeding the scrum, and Danny Brough was way out on the 3rd receiver.
Here is Brad Drew, and he finds Tony Martin, and Martin goes through the gap, and the Dragons defence, Ragan and company, they're there to keep him out. But this is the last tackle. Back it comes to Drew to Brough, and Brough will stab the kick in behind the defence. Good kick too. But well picked up by Murphy, and great defence from Wakefield. They will force the goal line dropout. Enthusiastic start by the Wildcats.
Tremendous stuff though. Beautiful kick yet again from Danny Brough. He's been doing this all season. But watch for Duncan McGilvray. Bang, along with Atkins. That's great defence. That will please their coach John Keir. They really mean business. There's the big second rower. Really does work overtime in defence.
The wind that is just billowing around here, a very warm wind, something of a mistral that the French will be well used to. It's blowing probably at the backs of the Catalan Dragons, hence the kick-off from Wakefield that held in the wind and caused the problems right from the start. And there was good depth on that goal line dropout from the Catalan Dragons, but this is McGilvray now, midway inside their half of the field. And little Sam Obst gets the ball away to Drew. He finds Martin. Martin gives it to Gleeson. Gleeson will cut inside, but he can't get away from Younes Katabi.
Pretty good slide in defence by the French outfit. Wakefield are wanting to keep this ball alive. They're trying to run them off their feet at the moment.
Drew flicks the ball up into the arms of Oliver Wilkes. That's the last tackle again here, so watch out maybe for Danny. No, they're bringing it down the short side and running it, and Martin drops the ball. And there was a chance there for the Australian centre, Tony Martin.
Good tactics. Everyone expected that they were going to give it out wide to Brough to get the kick away, and I'm afraid Martin could have scored, and John Keir knows it.
Well, it was the third time in less than 3 minutes from the kickoff that Wakefield have attacked Sebastian Ragan. You see by the fact that he wears number 11. At the start of the season, when the Mick Potter, Dragons coach, was picking his team, he predicted Ragan to play in the back row. Because of injuries, he's basically played left centre all year, and Wakefield have put Tony Martin on him to do a job.
Decent counter-attack building here, though. That was a good run from John Wilson down that right-hand side. And he will play the ball. This is Adam Mogg, and this now is Dane Carlaw. Catalan Dragons on the halfway line as they play the ball, tackle number 4. Mogg again operating at standoff these days. Good defence though from Wakefield. Richard Moore in there, lifted the leg, dropped him down with help from Golden. And it's with Thomas Bosk. Up goes the kick. That wind behind that ball again means Blaymire has to backpedal. Collects it well though underneath his own post. Let's go down to the sideline and Bill.
Eddie, Steve-O's hinted at it already, that Wakefield trying to run Catalan off their legs, trying to drain their resources early on, and a suspicion that maybe with so many players backing up after Friday night's test in Toulouse, that they might be a bit low on energy. Not the case according to the Catalans camp. Mick Potter, the coach, says they pride themselves on their fitness. Okay, they picked up 1 or 2 bumps and bruises, but the main bruising as far as those players who were involved in that defeat by England is to their ego, and they're looking to take it out on the Wildcats tonight.
First penalty to Wakefield, and that's why they are in possession, but still deep inside their own half at the moment. This is Sam Obst trying to get them out of there. The other thing that will spur the Catalan Dragons on to some sort of show they hope tonight is the fact that Mick Potter believes that they haven't really performed all that well in front of our cameras in the past, and they would like to put that record straight.
It's all about the mental attitude of this Catalan side. I see a big shot there coming in. That's what you need. You need your players trying to lift up, and Alex Chan, one of the players who didn't play, really flew out the line and pressured Golden there.
Another big kick downfield from Wakefield, collected by Clint Greenshields close to his own line. And a good chase from Wakefield. First 5 minutes of the match, 0-0. Here they come again, the Catalan Dragons, and that is Younes Katabi.
I was just about to say, but going into this game, it's all about how they prepare for the game. 8 of the guys weren't playing, but the standout players who've been there all year, like Adam Mogg, Casey Maguire, Alex Chan, they didn't play, so they're fresh. There's a lot of pressure on them players to step up and really lead this Catalan side round the pitch.
Blaymire runs it back as far as the 20-metre line. Carlaw and Mogg.
Interesting to see that kick and chase by the Catalan side. They're pretty slow getting there. The fullback Blaymire to get well over the 20-metre line.
Here's Duncan McGilvray again, the Scottish international, of course. Will no doubt be featuring in the World Cup for Scotland come the end of the year with his nation's captain Danny Brough. That's a good run, meanwhile, from Jason Golden. Little interference on the deck by Catalan Dragons, not penalised by Richard Silverwood, but he has a word with him on the run, and this is Brough, and he has support, and it's Wilkes. That's a good tackle from behind, though. And it's a knock-on. It was a try-saver from Olivier Elima, and there have been 2 opportunities spurned here by Wakefield.
Super play by Danny Brough. Wilkes just back on the inside, just got a little bit too excited with it there. That's the second occasion they've split the French outfit's defence, just lost control of it.
Good tackle.
Sheer panic.
Good tackle from Elima, a former Wakefield player, of course. He signed for the Catalan Dragons last October, operating in the front row tonight for the Dragons, as the scrum is fed there by Thomas Bosk. Bosk certainly been one of the standout stars, hasn't he, for Catalan Dragons this year. And here's another, Adam Mogg.
Well, the combination, they've fitted in extremely well. And the coach, Mick Potter, must be so happy with the... Let's just say that they've improved as each season's gone on, and it just shows you, oh, that's a bad error. Lack of concentration there. And that will not do the coach any good whatsoever. Messing around at the play the ball area. They're getting out of the traps pretty quick, though.
Referee didn't put the scrum down there because of the mistake. He called it as a 0 tackle instead. And now he has got Catalan Dragons for infringement at the play the ball.
There's been a problem with the Catalans over the season. Just messing around, didn't get away quick enough. He's a big guy, Olivier Elima.
He is. He was at prop in international football, though, for the first time against England on Friday. England with a massive win, of course, down there in Toulouse. Hope you enjoyed that if you watched it with us on Sky Sports. This is a good defence, though, here against a proposed run by Wilkes.
Blindside.
Brough gives the ball to Drew. Drew then pops it up for Dimitriou. Important tackle by Greenshields.
Was it ever? Nice inside pass, though, wasn't it?
Here's Drew again. Wide they go to Gleeson, and Wakefield in for the first try. Sean Gleeson, he really has established himself this year, the 20-year-old. He's played for Ireland twice. He's another one who's no doubt on the way to Australia for the World Cup at the end of this year, Sean Gleeson. He's played 19 of 22 this year, the former Widnes and Wigan man, and here's the first try.
The one thing you'll always guarantee from a John Keir side is that they'll come up with something different. The build-up to this was superb, 2 angle runs, and they've just brushed on the defence. They caught the winger just inside. Good work by Brad Drew. He must be very, very happy, Gleeson, to be working outside such quality. Brad Drew, Danny Brough, they're interchanging. Drew's been pushing himself out wide, often taking the first receiver, and then they're mixing around with Danny Brough again. It's very difficult for the Catalan side to just absolutely find out what and who is going to get the football.
Brough, it's a difficult kick against this wind, and he's missed it. But Wakefield have the lead here, 4-0.
I think Sean Gleeson's long-term future probably lies somewhere playing centre for a side, maybe Wakefield or 1 or 2 other teams. But when you're young and starting out in this competition, you have to take whatever chance you can, and he's taken this chance particularly well. You just watched him jockey to stay back behind possession, and he timed his run well. There's a temptation sometimes to set off too soon. He resisted that and timed the run perfectly.
We've just seen his first Super League try since March. He is a cousin of the Warrington pair of Gleesons, Martin and Mark. But everyone wondering for how much longer Martin Gleeson will be at Warrington. The rumours are rife that the Melbourne Storm might be his next port of call in the NRL in Australia. This is Richard Moore. Sam Obbs waits at dummy half for Wakefield. Gets the ball away. Goulden drives it in again. Important, I think, that Wakefield got the try on the board after all that early pressure. But Catalan Dragons here looking to defend this run from Ryan Atkins, and doing so successfully. The referee now shouts that he's held. Obst waits again, just inside their own half of the field, and Drew will pump it over the head of Clint Greenshields, he hopes, but Greenshields had the speed.
He's gone early. That is rather surprising when you're playing against this strong wind. Didn't get away with it. But the one thing that John Keir will be so happy with, the fact that when Gleeson went in for that try, it just shows you, if you look at the videotapes, Thomas Bosk, the standoff, was actually in the wing position. Obviously Mick Potter wants to keep him out there, out of the heavy tackling.
This is Casey Maguire, a new deal with the Catalan Dragons. He's with the club till the end of 2010. It's a good hit by McGilvray. He certainly felt that, Alex Chan. This is Mogg with the angled kick into space. Well claimed, though, by Matt Blaymeyer.
Good position as well. Anticipated. Didn't go too far on the left-hand side, thinking that perhaps they might put the little kick into the corner. They didn't.
There's Jason Demetriou, the Wakefield captain. He has just agreed today a 2-year extension to his contract as well. He has pinned his colours firmly to the Wakefield mast. He'll be here till the end of 2010 as well, as the prop forward Wilkes drives the ball forward once again. 8 different clubs, this fellow, Oliver Wilkes, in 10 years, but he's doing as well as ever here. This is Ryan Atkins now. Oh, great ball away to Damien Blanche, and Blanche will stride over. That's a wonderful Wakefield try. Atkins provided the pass, and Blanche, big smile on his face for Damien Blanche. 6 tries in his last 5 games, 8 tries in the last 10 before that moment, and that's his 8th try of Super League 13. Damien Blanche, another Irish international on the wing for Wakefield. Delighted with that, but I'm sure he would be the first to congratulate and give the credit for his try, for the creative pass from Ryan Atkins. Beautiful inside ball, and Blanche, the right man in the right place at the right time.
Rugby league doesn't come much better than this. Superb stuff. It will be so pleasing for John Keir. Tremendous effort there. Just shows you get the confidence. You start offloading the ball deep within your own half.
And this time Brough adds the extras, and Wakefield are ahead by 10 points to 0. Fantastic try, and Damien Blanche on the score sheet.
Just watch how they take the gamble out wide. It looks as though they were going for a kick there. Superb. Absolutely wonderful, this. Give full credit for Blanche. It was a beautiful pass by Atkins in the first instance, but Blanche knew exactly when to come back off the touchline and inside on the angle. Boy, that was superb.
And in rich form as well, which will delight the Irish international selectors and the Irish coach Andy Kelly. 7 tries in his last 6 matches now. 10-0, Wakefield are ahead. Only Leeds and Wigan have won here so far in 2008. And in the opening 14 minutes of this match, the Wakefield Trinity Wildcats are showing us why.
Well, it appears as though they want to demoralise their opponents, don't they, with a very powerful start. Coaches encourage their players to read and react to situations, and that last try was a perfect example of players sensing an opportunity. McGilvry's ball to Atkins was superb, and the one from Atkins, the wingman, even better.
Just shows you, Phil, that when you've got a man out there like Danny Brough, he's shaped as though he's going to get the kick, and that's not a bad idea either. Push it into the corner. They've got a 10-point lead. He knows that they've pretty strong in defence. He's been in superb form as this fella, Danny Brough.
I get the feeling they would have preferred the ball to stay in play. Obviously, Wakefield seemed content with it over the sideline. But Catalan have been under pressure for the opening 15 minutes. They've had less possession than an opponent, and coming away from their own danger zone makes life even harder.
Well, we're seeing Wakefield with this 10-point advantage, and what are we now, about 8 weeks away from the end of the regular season. And I suppose when you think about it, we've got a couple of candidates here, Steve-O, for Man of Steel on show in Thomas Bosk, Adam Mogg for the Catalan Dragons, Danny Brough for Wakefield. But what about Coach of the Year as well? I mean, Mick Potter and John Keir, their claims this year surely cannot be ignored. The improvement that they have brought to their clubs this year has been absolutely outstanding.
It's very rare, Eddie, but I agree with you.
Mick Potter, his team went 12th and 10th, and look where they are now, 3rd in the table. And well, if Wakefield maintain at this stage, they will be 4th at the end of tonight. Long way to go yet, though. Mogg with the kick downfield.
But these are the superb tactics that you get from a qualified coach. and a quality man as well, John Keir. Inasmuch they realised that this Catalan outfit, they've had to come over from France. They've had 8 that were played on Friday. They would have been a little bit off colour. Let's keep it alive, and they've thrown everything at it. It's been top quality stuff.
Years gone by, you look at this Wakefield side and you just think they've got the battering rams, but that man Brad Drew with the ball in hand, you can't concentrate on Brough because he'll damage you.
Fantastic ball there to Tony Martin. Brad Drew operating tonight from the start, Jamie Rooney on the bench, and John Keir has said all season if players perform they will get the jerseys in the starting lineup, and Brad Drew certainly performed at Hull Kingston Rovers a week last Saturday when his 2 tries late in the game won the match. And look at him here, he's full of it, but that's not the best kick. Ragan, he's got Drew on his right ankle, but he still managed to hop his way a bit further forward. This now is Maguire. Good defence though from Wakefield. Here goes Katabi.
It needs something extremely special by the French outfit to get them back into this match.
Rooney's warming up. Mightn't be long before we see him.
Well, it would surprise me if John Keir takes off either Danny Brough or Brad Drew. The way that they are combining together, I mentioned earlier.
That's a great kick. It's a 40-20 attempt, that, but it's not going to make it.
I'm just saying, Eddie, I made the point that the Catalans, they really don't know who to try to pinpoint, who to stop. They're getting first receiver, second receiver, they're switching. One's going on the left-hand side, Brad Drew on the right.
But offside here, the Catalan Dragons not standing square at the play of the ball. They're getting caned in the penalties, 3-0.
Well, they're probably desperate to try to just slow down the play of the ball by the Wakefield outfit. And you could see there quite clearly that Thomas Boss had actually gone early as well, wasn't standing square.
Richard Moore, good run, but a great tackle as well. Good hit there. Elimat was one of the tacklers and Dane Carlaw was the other. Here is Drew. This now is Brough. Back it goes again to Golden. Brough scampering in to dummy half. Gets it. Finds Wilkes.
Interesting to see when John Keir throws on Danny Sculthorpe.
Drew looking busy. Over the top, finds Gleeson. Bit of space for Gleeson, but it's quickly closed down by Katabi. Here is Drew again. They're so quick in the play the ball at the minute, Wakefield. Good long kick out wide by Brough up the outside of the boot. The ball has bounced all over the shop. And luckily for the Catalan Dragons, it was Casey Maguire, first man to react. Good chase though, good hunt down. Justin Murphy by Damien Blanche.
And again, a good quality kick from Danny Brough. Went early, went on the fourth, didn't wait to the last.
Adam Mogg again.
The Wakefield side have had 10 days to prepare for this match, and it appears at this stage that they've used those very well. Made a very strong start in the opening quarter. Whilst they have control of this game though, it's important that they maintain that concentration, because a lot of these Dragons players have such a resilience, they'll fight through the hard times until the bounce the ball goes their way. And as we've seen in their last 3 games, they've averaged over 40 points. They will come up with some scores.
Oh, without a doubt.
I agree with you there, and mainly due to the fact that, let's not forget that Catalan have yet, oh, that's a high shot, got away with it. They have yet to get in a good attacking position. Not much possession of the ball either.
Talking about the build-up, Phil, to this match, John Keir tells me that Wakefield had 3 days off at the start of last week, and then at midweek last week they just picked up the intensity again and treated it like a normal week, even though we're playing tonight on a Tuesday, which is unusual for Super League in 2008. Long kick from Danny Brough. The Catalan Dragons, by the way. Oh, that's an awful bounce. Martin's after it, just couldn't pick it up. And Ragan gets hold of it, and there is space here for Ragan, and he has some support from Maguire. Maguire goes through, Blanche goes through, another, he's going to walk in. Casey Maguire with a strolling try, and well, we've been praising Wakefield, but John Keir will be absolutely furious with that. Casey Maguire with the try, take nothing away from him, but the tackling from Wakefield in defence then was, well, it was paper thin. Casey Maguire though with the try, a new deal, as I say, for him till the end of 2010. That's his 3rd try of the season, and Catalan Dragons are back in the hunt.
Well, they went for the high kick and the option, and really it was a shocking bounce, wasn't it? Lucky to get away with it. Martin perhaps got a touch to it. That would have been a knock-on anyway. Back on the inside, there was no one there at all. Oh, that was very poor. Take nothing away from Maguire. He realised he was in open space. Dragan got the ball away very well indeed, and then this was not good. Damien Blanche should have got him. Matt Blamey was off balance. This will make it the 6.
Indeed so. Thomas Boss doesn't miss those, and it's Wakefield 10, Catalan Dragons 6.
And this is just interesting here. I'm just watching here as the kick goes through. Richard Moore, later on here now as we roll it forward. You see Richard Moore, keep your eyes on him, the number 25 in the white shirt. Okay, he's having a moment. He doesn't set off running forward. But keep your eyes on him now as he tracks left here. Look at Alex Chan. Does he put the leg out here to trip him? I think possibly so, Eddie.
Well, he certainly moved. The left leg went out, not seen by the officials. Either way, it takes nothing away from the fact that it was poor defence by Wakefield. And Eddie, you're absolutely spot on. John Keir will be furious. They're back in the game. Their first opportunity, albeit with a slice of luck. That's sometimes what you need.
That's going to be play on. That short kick-off causing trouble again.
That might have given Catalan that bit of a retreat, because at that point they would just look out on the feet. They weren't getting back. The retreat on defence looks really, really slow. But that's given them that bit of lift to get back into this game, because they were really, really lacking something.
Danny Sculthorpe has come on, as you see. He's played the ball there to Sam Obst. Here is Drew. Here's Brough. He just pops it up there for Jason Golden. And Brough directing the operations at dummy half. Finds Richard Moore. That left leg is heavily bandaged. Another penalty for offside underneath the sticks against the Catalan Dragons. 2 points, he says. Let's have the 2.
Well, that's the one advantage of being down that end. There's never any doubt about seeing John Keir. Prominent, I think, is the word. There's the kick-off here. Did, I think... Yeah, Martin did well. Now, the one previous to that, he knocked it on, knocked it back on this occasion. And Gleeson did well to take him into a good position. They'll be quite happy. Stretch it to a 6-point lead. Just settle the nerves down after that shock try against them from Maguire.
Brough from bang in front. It's 12-6 to Wakefield. Danny Brough, 182 points before today. He's managed 4 here tonight, so it's 186 for John Keir and the Wakefield cause. 12-6 now. 24 minutes gone. Dragons kick off. Drew is underneath the kickoff. Here comes Danny Sculthorpe. Danny Sculthorpe, who was quoted last week as saying he wouldn't be at all surprised if brother Paul was here at Wakefield next year.
Yeah, I did notice that in the media.
Says that he and Paul have always said they would like to play together at some stage during their careers, and wouldn't be at all surprised if Wakefield moved heaven and earth to bring the former Man of Steel to Bellevue. And that just shows actually the ambition that this club has got, if that is the case.
Well, if John Keir can, I presume, get him for a decent price, then he would love nothing better.
Great offload in the tackle, and this is Blamire. That offload was by Kyle Bibb, who's just on. John Keir having something of a selection dilemma lately. All his injured stars starting to come back. Demetria with that run, spins away, gets the ball, flicks it back off the chest of Gleeson. That will be a knock-on.
Should be head and feet
by
to
Wakefield.
Catalan, yeah. Just trying to force the pass when they don't really need to. You can see there that Jason Demetria trying to keep the ball alive when you've just taken 6-point control.
Well, I think he believed he was on his way over the sideline, Steve-O, and he decided that maybe flinging the ball on the inside was better. Blamire picked up a bang in the tackle immediately before that.
I think it might have been a finger in the eye. But that 2-point where John Keir said, let's take them, could be pretty important as well. Let's not forget, it's very, very warm out there. It's humid. And the final quarter, a lot of these players gasping for air.
Well, Catalan Dragons will be no strangers, of course, to humidity and heat like we've got here tonight.
Yep.
Maguire, dummy half. And here is Bosk. Good run forward by Chan, but met by Kyle Bibb and Danny Sculthorpe. It's Bosk again, ball on the inside. Bibb was there again. He brought Greenshields to the deck. That's Ferriol. This is Adam Mogg. That's a lovely kick. Blanche, though, collects it well. And that's a penalty against Catalan Dragons. The tackle was completed once Justin Murphy had grounded Damien Blanche and the ball-carrying arm had hit the deck. And then they tried to just push him over the line. Not allowed. That's a penalty.
Silly play by the second row, Muniz. All that good work undone. Now they've lost 40 metres downfield. All of a sudden got very dark and dismal out there. Lights are on.
Yes, glorious day. Of course, it has been, no doubt, in the majority of the country today, but it's just gone a little thundery. The grey clouds are gathering. Here is Drew, though, gets it away to Martin. He steps inside Bosk and he brushes away from another. Gives the ball then to Gleeson. Great work from Tony Martin.
Beautiful centre play. Interaction with his winger was outstanding.
Drew finds Bibb. Bibb tries to hit and spin. Can't get the ball away, though. 4 tackles gone. Right underneath the Catalan Dragons posts. Drew again. Fires it to Danny Brough, who drops it. Under pressure, actually.
Good work from Mogg. Came right out of the line.
And Danny Brough saying to the referee, he must have been offside. He was on me so quickly, he must have been offside, Mogg.
Yep. He was out of the blocks pretty quickly, wasn't he? He got away with it, though. Just a shake of the head from Danny Brough, who enjoys a little chat with the man with the whistle. Yeah. Both feet have to be behind the line. One was, the other wasn't.
I think we've forgotten about that, haven't we?
Well, obviously the officials have as well.
12 minutes to half-time.
Yeah, these sultry conditions, Eddie, as you say, it's going to be a bit of a problem perhaps for Wakefield.
Neat ball over the top. Chance here for Katabi, but he's surrounded by defenders. And now there is a penalty given against Wakefield, same as on their own line a few moments ago.
Ball carrying arm had hit the deck. Momentum stopped.
Yep. That's the first, isn't it, that Catalan have received almost half an hour into the game.
Yes, 5-1, the penalty count in Wakefield's favour. There it is. And this is Remy Casti. Substitute tonight for the 20th time. Maguire, Bosk.
Oh, they're getting into the swing of it. OK, that wasn't the best pass.
Here's Ferriol.
But they've got the confidence back now. This is where you'll see the likes of Casey Maguire just taking control out there, and Adam Mogg.
Greenshields. The overseas contingent, very prominent in this Catalan Dragons setup. This is a Frenchman, though, Ferriol.
He lost it.
And Wakefield have it back.
There's a good hit there by Danny Sculthorpe, who I think may have sort of injured himself slightly. Doesn't look well, Sculthorpe, at the moment. Oh, Drew has lost the ball.
And John Wilson has swooped on it, and this is Maguire. Now he's found Mogg. And this time, Wakefield offside.
Well, I reckon they'll go for the tap here. Keep it alive, and they have just done that.
Oh, and Ferriol drops it on the first tackle.
It's a nightmare for any coach at any level. International way down to under 10s. Just took his eyes off the football. Well, basic error.
No suggestion there that Ferriol was the decoy, was there? He was hunting that pass.
Oh, it was his, don't worry.
So Demetrio with it.
Oh, that should have been seen by the officials.
That was a hit from Fakir. He's got them now for not standing square to the play the ball. Jamal Fakir came right over the top, and
oh, he didn't miss either.
He did not. Sculthorpe drives it forward.
Unusual, took the quick tap rather than kick against the wind. It's not all that strong, but Maybe a little bit different when the ball gets high. Good work from Bibb. He's put in a lot of effort since he came off the bench.
Drew flicks the ball to Martin. He finds Dimitriou.
Nice option. Coming back on the inside, but it was a little bit flat, was the loose forward.
Here's Obst, and it's Brough again. Slides the kick through, ricochet off the heels. Damien Blanche was very quick then.
Certainly was. He really battled into Justin Murphy, who put his body on the line.
Here's Fakir again. Big Jamal Fakir. Got his first international appearance in 2 years against the English on Friday when he came on as a sub. Katabi just nicked that ball away from Danny Sculthorpe, halted by Kyle Bibb. Maguire, Mogg, Bosk, Casti.
Getting very close to using the shepherd there on 2 occasions.
Mogg again, dabs the ball down the line, looking for Ragan to chase, but Blamire was over and picked it up quickly. And then Mogg and Fakir with the tackle. Gleeson.
Not the best kick.
Not Gleeson, beg your pardon. It is Gleeson, sorry, it is.
Not the best kick from Adam Mogg, but it was good positioning by Matt Blamire, and that's going to be a penalty. I think he's going to have a little bit of a word with the French outfit. They obviously have come with the intention to hold a man down. Thomas Bosk got a roll away, failed to do it.
So McGilvray will drive it forward again for Wakefield, halted by Remy Casti's grab at his collar. Sculthorpe, halted by Ferriol low down. Obst and Dimitriou.
Good work, quick play of the ball, but you can see yet again Catalan and Dimitriou is having a real old go at the referee, saying, come on, they're holding us down, we're trying to get on with the game. Look at that, that should have been a penalty again.
Here's Rooney, flicks the ball to Sculthorpe, was forward.
Yeah, he knows it too. Just came a little bit too early, did Rooney. You can see he was half a metre in front. Took a bit of a hit as well, did Sculthorpe.
That's what's going to cost this Catalan side, the ill-discipline. They cannot afford to give penalties away when they're in good field position. I'm sure Mick Potter would have said out there to the senior players that we've got to go down there, we've got to have a very good kick chase, and we've got to try and play this Wakefield in their own 20. No piggybacks upfield, because that's one thing that Wakefield have improved on this year under John Keir, is the discipline. They don't give many penalties away, and I think they're going to give one away so far in this game.
Just a couple, Terry, you missed one. 7-2 the count.
They'll be quite happy, Mick Potter and the Catalan players, due to the fact they're only converted try adrift.
Good ball.
You're very good, you Eddie.
I'm all right so long as it doesn't get past 5. Here is Thomas Bosk. Now it's Adam Mogg. Gets the ball away. There's space here for Ragan. Oh, Ragan kicks it forward. Oh, and Katabi has scored here, I think.
Yep. That is
the referee will hand it to Ian Smith, the video referee, to just check on the offside first of all. I don't think there's any doubt that he stayed within the field of play. He's well onside.
This is a try. Ragan got the kick away. Just pulls the foot back inside. This is TRY time. A little doubt. That is a bitter blow to Wakefield. They were bossing this game in the opening 20 minutes. And the 2 clear chances that Catalan have had, they take full control of this game. That was a good effort. Good kick by Sebastian Ragan.
Well, it's a great try. That just shows what this Catalan Dragon side are capable of. Younes Katabi, his international debut against England on Friday. He wouldn't want to really remember that, but he'll want to remember this.
Well, they were caught out wide. Look at that. Rooney is not the best positional defender in the world, I can assure you of that, Jamie Rooney. That's the reason why John Keir has him way out on the right-hand side. But you can see Rooney He's gone in to start shaking hands with Tony Martin, but what an excellent kick through for the winger. That's the forward pass where they got possession and got them downfield. But when you get Rooney and Tony Martin hugging each other, there's always going to be a chance out wide, and they have made the Wildcats pay heavily.
And this kick from Thomas Bosch to give the Catalan Dragons the lead. No, it isn't. It's to make it level. He doesn't. It's 12-10. Terry O'Connell's got me all over the place with the maths now. 12-10 it is.
One thing you can know, Eddie, is that it's over 20 minutes since Wakefield scored a try, and it's 20 minutes since they look like the best team in this game. Really, they haven't been able to play with that same intensity from their second score. They've looked flat, they've looked lethargic, they've almost looked complacent in their willingness to keep the ball alive and offload, and haven't really respected possession or their opponents enough.
Maybe they thought, or they believe, that the job is a little bit easier right now than they thought at the start of the game.
Well, in the first 15 minutes, they had Richard Moore and they had Oliver Wilkes just charging it forward and playing off the back of what they were doing. Getting a good, quick play of the ball's a second phase rugby league, and they seem to have gone away from that.
And let's not also forget that John Keir has thrown on Jamie Rooney, and I can't see Danny Brough out there.
Let's go down to
He's
Bill.
way out wide. Sorry, he is there.
Steve-O mentioned Richard Moore. Well, he's on the sidelines. I think he's been spelled anyway after his efforts early on, but he does have his right thigh very heavily strapped. I'm told there isn't actually anything significant there, but nevertheless he's come off and had that strapping applied, and as I speak the rain is starting, and I don't think it's going to be a light shower looking at the sky. I think we could be in for a bit of a deluge.
Well, that won't help the players, obviously, and it won't help the supporters, who are all coming from behind the posts over there to the left-hand side, and they're looking for shelter around this ground, and to be fair, there isn't too much of that. This is Kevin Henderson now for Wakefield.
Well, this might be some help to the Wakefield outfit. You mentioned the fact it's very humid, and if we do have a shower, it'll certainly bring the temperature down.
Brough with the kick for the corner, and it's just too deep. Runs touching goal. 20-metre restart. This is a significant week for the Catalan Dragons. They are here tonight, and then they're at Hull on Sunday, and for the first time they have decided to base themselves in the UK for the entire week. I think Potter just trying something a little bit different. Rather than fly home tomorrow and then fly back here on Friday, saw a little point in that, so they've decided to stay in the north of England and do their training and rehabilitation after this.
It's a great idea. I'm sure that the players will enjoy it, and the weather's been pretty decent, hasn't it, over the past few days? It's supposed to be going that way. Well, they're going to be very careful of the Wildcats not to give away any more points.
Great offload that by Bosch to Mogg, who began this move. Last tackle here for the Catalan Dragons. Ferriol wearily to his feet. Mogg, Bosch with a little flick, and not the best. It's a knock-on, so it's the turnover right on halfway. Minute to go, and Wakefield looking just to cement their position here.
There've been a few bad passes from the French outfit, much to the chagrin of Mick Potter. And I suppose John Key will be thinking we should have put more points on the board in this first half. Remember, 3 clean breaks in the opening 10 minutes. Gleeson got a try from one of them. It was a little bit later on that Blanche went in for the second. But Maguire and Katabi, they've hit back, big style.
Here's Dimitriou, this is Martin, he hangs on.
Well, that should be in a flop, and it is. Ferriol coming in extremely late.
He wants 2 more, John Keir. But I wonder if he realises that Catalan Dragons will not be all that concerned about turning round with a half-time deficit. Here's the flop, you'll see it there. That's why the penalty is given. They've turned around behind on the scoreboard 6 times, 5 of them away from home, and they've won those 5 away from home. In fact, they have won 6 in all. Once at their own ground in Perpignan, there's the siren, and 5 away from home. So they know how to come from a position of a deficit at half-time. And the rain, I think, is going to really tumble down here as Brough thumps that ball between the posts. And that will give them a 4-point cushion at half-time. 14